Which legendary Reddit post comment can you still not get over? There was a post on r/r of the gorilla using sign language to tell people not to feed it or something to that effect. To this day, I still laugh when I think about a comment that said, "It's a shame there's so many deaf gorillas." This one guy was on the toilet, and he sneezed while he was taking a shit. That same moment, the power in his house went out. He proceeded to cry because he thought he shit himself blind. Not a single post but a series by uShittyMorph making up bogus facts relevant to any particular thread and ending with, "Since 1998 when Undertaker threw mankind off Hell in a Cell and plummeted 16 feet through an announcer's table." Maybe someone can help me find the actual post. It was from 5 years ago on a post about what you would do with a specific amount of money like $5 million in a lottery. Someone replied with, "Is that enough to rent an orange cat for 2 years?" and it was so far out of left field and hilarious to me that I haven't stopped thinking about it. That time a person on our Formula 1 asked if you could eliminate a race within the year, which would it be, and why? Which looked rather bad when taken out of context, especially in r/r. Haven't seen this posted yet, so I'll add this to its 4 rules for getting your shit together. Someone ran our homeowners trying to get rid of ants in their house. Tons of comments. One fellow Redditor suggested maybe there were no ants, that they were hallucinations due to carbon monoxide poisoning. Opened his house tested and turns out there were, in fact, no ants and he was hallucinating them due to carbon monoxide poisoning. I can't remember everything about the post or even which sub it was in, but I think about this one a lot. Op was staying in the hotel and the person in the room next to them was blasting Sesame Street. They suddenly heard a grown man yell, "God damn it, Mr. Noodle, every account on Reddit is a bot except you." This comment from Arnold Schwarzenegger lifting up a guy who had a terrible day at the gym. I always say don't be afraid of failure, because how far can you really fall? You found out to the ground. It's right there. Now you know it isn't anything that should scare you. I still love the r/shower thoughts post. Going waterboarding in Guantanamo Bay sounds like a great time if you don't know what either of those things are. The Ask Reddit where drug dealers talk about having to turn their customers into child protective services. Shit got bleak. There was an Ask Reddit thread that said, "What do you think nobody in the world is doing right now?" Top comment was masturbating to me. Top reply was just rubbed one out for you. Godspeed, sir. Edit found it. The burrito rante guy ordered a burrito for takeout and took it home only to find they had wrapped it sideways. He wrote the most amusing angry letter. There's an absolutely amazing comment about grief coming in ways that has stuck with me for a very long time. I'm on mobile so apologies for the shitty link, but it's a beautiful read. The post where a woman is saying how her husband and Phil are prepping for her to die during childbirth even though she and fetus are perfectly healthy. They 100 were plotting to kill her and there not being an update has me scared for her. The story of you spontaneous. It's shocking how little it took for him to turn into a full-blown heroin addict, but the documentation of their spiral is more convincing than any DARE program I could have thought of. There was one that I've never been able to find again, but some guy insulted somebody and he replied with something like "says a virgin with a 3-inch penis" and provided links from the other guy's post history that proved both those assertions. It was an absolute burial. You love to see it. The man whose girlfriend buried his canned beans in the woods. Edit folks have posted it down the chain, but here is the link to the insane story, the noisy gobshite story, and the follow-up posts, a very interesting, funny, well told it takes a turn. Warning emotions. I'm surprised not to see this one. A guy peed on a pregnancy test on whim, and it came back positive. I think he did find out he had testicular cancer, and thankfully survived. Unfortunately I didn't save the post but it went like this. There's an owl in front of my window. An owl. You all. Oh. Hoot hoot. There's a hooter in front of my window. Edit thanks to Utah's original we now have a repost of this meme. Also thank you so much for highest upvoted Reddit post yet, Edit spelling. I watched the Woody Harrelson I'm Here to Talk About Rampart AMA debacle happen in real time. I think it's one of the only times I ever actually participated in an AMA as it was happening rather than reading the whole thing later. It was magical. The description of how rabies kills you. Edit link fed the cute trash panda and looked up for a DV4 Zyx. Context 3. Edit again just wanted to credit that original poster was you hot doggin'. It's Zombie Bagel Guy a Reddit original or was that reposted from somewhere? Edit found it. Zombie Bagel Guy. The man who attempted to throw his steak out the window. His wife followed up with her version a little later. Edit thanks for the Golden Awards. I remember some guy asked Reddit what movie really made an impact on their life, And some guy said Paul Blart Mall Cop, and somehow every post from that point on would end up relating to Paul Blart. Even made some leaks into other threads. A recent one, but that 40-something-year-old guy who bought like 5 Peloton bikes to give to the family of his 21-year-old Eastern European wife because they told him it was tradition in their country. The OG post was Christians, what would you do if you died and instead of Jesus it was Anubis? Best comment ever, nice versus Jeezy boy. You Winchester 247. There was some discussion in comments about Slav Squad, and someone asked what is Slav? And the reply was baby don't hurt me no more. Something I will never forget. There was a post a month or so ago about a girl whose boyfriend kept telling her she smells bad no matter how undeniably good she smelled. Finally he admitted that he was just telling her she smelled bad to keep her self-esteem low enough she wouldn't leave him. Then she immediately dumped him. The guy who got hit by a car, I think? Lived an entire life with a wife and kid he loved very much, only to wake up on the pavement realizing it was all fake. This post where the comments are edited to make Hop look really weird. Funny, father deletes son's Minecraft world. Not sure if it's legendary, but I still can't get over it. The guy who had an entire alternate life while in a coma. This one in legal advice where landlord kicked out their tenant for going on a business trip by plane about a month before the lockdown. In addition, she created a thread elsewhere asking to buy a gun. It was a bit disturbing. The guy who wanted to pay his female neighbor at that to make him food, man facepalming. His logic was that she was already making food for herself, so why wouldn't she be able to set aside a portion for him? Pretty sure his neighbor said fuck off, and then he had the audacity to post about it and bitch on. Dude helps his sister move and finds a strange hook in her closet and asks R what is ice thing for advice lamau. Turns out to be an intense BDSM anal hook. The verified dude who had sexual relations with his mother. It's an AMA. Edit welcome to the internet people. The one where the guy felt violated because he agreed to poop on his GF faces and she tricked him and dated. Putting Descartes before the horse. Link, today you, tomorrow me. That one time someone said HP Lovecraft but it got auto-corrected to HP Minecraft and the post was like 500 words long. The guy who tried any suggestion with rice. Custard on its own 710. Custard with rice 410. Thank you for your suggestion. Link to educate yourself. Farting on a kid's head. This guy's storytelling still has me falling over laughing, even though I've read it a handful of times already. There was an Ask Reddit about which fictional character would be worst in bed. Best answer was Jar Jar Binks and the first comment under his name was Misakami. Still think about this one from time to time. The one where the guy jerked off to pics of his sister-in-law, then his wife found out and took over the post and locked him out of his account and divorced him. Good times. The Pinecone incident. Redditors, when you were in boot camp I ate bedge? Source share at medium web 2x. I read this whenever I need a laugh. It has never let me down. The post where a girl posted an Ask Reddit about what weird situations seemingly turn you on and described how she weirdly gets horny in her morning physics class. Turns out one of her classmates saw the post and they both had that realization they were in the same class. Late to the party here. The best comment sequence has got to be you forgettable usernames incredible. Deadpan response to Frog and Hailstone. A couple years ago I saw an AMA by U Sierra Bravo 26 about being an air traffic controller. He said it was a 6-figure job that doesn't require a college degree. Fast forward to today and I just completed my online basics course for the FAA ATC Academy and I have a tentative reporting date of September 14th. Thank you Sierra Bravo 26. The one where the op asks whether someone can lose karma from being downvoted and someone else in the comment section goes yes, let me show you, and gets downvoted to oblivion. Epic stuff. Street Lambamoose is a timeless classic. Without saying the category, list your top 5 is an absolute blast to read through. There was a Tifu posted where a guy raised his adoptive son thinking he was Chinese. Taught him all about Chinese culture etc. Then 18 years later comes to find out his son is actually Korean.